Hi, I'm Heidi Skinner with Heidi Skinner & Associates at Keller Williams. I'd like to introduce you to Mark Sampson, our listing specialist.
Hello again, it's Mark Sampson with Keller Williams St. George Realty. I'm excited about sharing with you some important information and techniques on how to get your home sold. Today's topic is the first in a sub-series of videos about contracts, and I'll be talking about earnest money and why it's so important for both parties, but especially the seller. Okay, let's say you go to a yard sale and you find a nice leather furniture set that has a price of $500, and it's just what you need, and you want to run it by your spouse, but your spouse is working and can't be reached. And yet you don't want someone else to walk away with your furniture set. The owner says, "Give me $50 and I'll hold it for you until 6 p.m. tonight when the yard sale is over. But if you're not here to pick it up with the remaining $450, I can sell it to someone else that may be interested and keep the $50 for the risk of holding it and the chance that I'm taking that no one will buy my furniture that's on hold once my yard sale is over." Although this is a simplified example, the $50 in this story would represent what earnest money is. When a homeowner and a buyer come to an agreement and sign a contract, the listing status or the for sale status changes immediately in the MLS or the multiple listing service. The status changes from active or available to pending or under contract, which basically means that it won't show up in the MLS anymore as an available house for sale, nor will it show up in online searches when a buyer is hunting for homes. And this pending status can go on for 30, 60 days or more. And this puts the homeowner at risk, especially in a market where house values are declining every month. And the homeowner may also be in a hurry to close on their home for reasons of, say, a job transfer out of the area. Let's say their home is going into default. Even more common, they may be building a new house and they have to close on it right away. So because of these common issues, a seller or a homeowner will require a buyer to put forth some earnest money. And this tells the seller that not only is the buyer serious and that they have some cash, which represents the buyer's astuteness or ability to perform, but they're also willing to take on some risk themselves. And what I mean by taking on risk themselves is that, like the furniture scenario, if the buyer doesn't perform under the agreed upon contract provisions, they can and should lose their earnest money to the homeowner as a compensation for having their house off the market and any other issues that this may cause for the seller. Now that you understand better the whys of earnest money, let's talk a bit about how much and where. Okay, how much earnest money should you expect? The general rule of thumb for this is 1 to 2% of the negotiated purchase price. So on a $200,000 home, $2,000 to $4,000 is a good amount. Many first-time buyers, home buyers, will offer $500 or $1,000 as earnest money. And if you want to be nice and accept that amount, that's up to you. But I would have a conversation with their lender first and make sure that they are for real before taking your home off the market for 30 plus days. Where does the earnest money go once a contract has been agreed upon and signed? The homeowner should not deposit the earnest money into their account. This is just asking for a lawsuit. And you do not want the buyer to hang on to it either, because you'll never get it when the sale fails. The thing to do is choose a title company, and within 4 calendar days, take it to them. And this is called escrow, a safe, neutral place to have the earnest money deposited, unless the home, of course, is listed with a broker or an agent. Then they will have a trust account for this purpose, and it will serve the homeowner's interest better. In the end, it's always a good idea to have a professional agent representing you in these matters, because these matters can get complicated and sticky, and an agent like myself that's done this hundreds of times will be able to see pitfalls and problems before it's too late. I have an acquaintance that tried to sell his home without an agent. He accepted an offer from an unqualified buyer that put forth no earnest money. The house was taken off the market for over 60 days while the buyer scrambled to get a loan that they never would in the end get. And in the end, the market values declined, and he ended up losing over $25,000 in purchase price after he finally called me to list and sell the home because of the declining values in that market at that time. Well, that's all for today. I hope you learned something new. In the next video, I'll be discussing the importance of deadline dates within the contract. Oh, and if you know anybody that may be considering selling their home, or if you think they might benefit from these videos, please feel free to forward them to them. And if you have any questions about this topic of earnest money, please feel free to contact me on my mobile at 435-862-6035 or email me at marksampson@skinnerteam.biz. Thanks for viewing, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.